What is the age range of women you're physically attracted to, and has it changed as you've aged? For the most part, the upper end of the range just gets higher. I never really stop finding 18 plus physically attractive, though the idea of actually being with them is far less appealing. I think the difference between finding someone physically attractive and wanting to be with them is often overlooked with this question. They are wildly different questions, but often get lumped in together. Exactly. I can watch a movie and see some 22-year-old running around and think, wow, she's a smocker shell, but in real life I would have no interest in a 22-year-old. I'm in my 40s. Yeah, it's changed and followed me with age. Whilst I've not had a problem being broad with age appeal, as I'm in my 40s I find others in their 40s more appealing than I did when I was in my 20s. I'm also in my 40s and 35 to 45 is my jam. Almost everyone under 30 looks like a kid now. Same. It's a pleasant surprise to me that women in their 40s are super attractive to me now. They're a little like, and I mean this as a compliment, even though it may sound weird, flowers that are a day or two old. Still really pretty, but not as pert anymore. I really like that not as pert thing now, it's womanly, if that makes sense. I kind of think, like, these are the women my age. They know what it was like when I was young. They've been through it. I feel like a kinship with them. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I find them really attractive, and younger women less so. I'm 31. I can look at an 18-year-old and realize that she is sexually attractive, but I have zero desire to date or have sex with someone that young. I probably would want to be with someone who is between minimum 24 and not too much older than me. That being said, the older I get, I'm not really more attracted to elderly women, but I can now see someone that age and recognize them as being beautiful for their age. For example, I can look at Martha Stewart, who is in her 80s, and think I'd be incredibly lucky if my wife looked like her at that age. I guess the people I'm attracted to gets older as I get older, which I find is a very good thing. I don't want to be 65 and wanting to chase a young woman in her 20s. I thought Martha Stewart was like 65, but no, she's 82. WTF how? If you see a woman and think MILF, that's the age I've liked them since my first boner, and it's still true at 36. I've never really been into super young looking women, and I genuinely like a mature lady. I'm 31. Physically attracted to is one thing, but on the off chance I'm ever talking to someone younger than 24 at this point, it feels like I'm talking to a literal child. So I find myself not being attracted to them. 34 meters. I remember sitting next to a peppy, cute college girl wearing a runk sweater while I was on a flight. She must have been 18 to 21 years old. Zero attraction. She was like a teenager. Well, if she was 18 to 21, there is a 50% chance she was a teenager. 35. Currently crazily attracted to a 57Y. Oh, at work. Call your mom. Was waiting for this comment. LMAO. I do not have a Oedipus complex. This woman is 10 years younger than my mother and also a different race. The race part is important. I'm white and she is not. She's exotic and entice. I want her to teach me, use me, abuse me. I'm also her boss, which adds the taboo factor. Also, sadly, it can't happen while we are both employed there. Thanks though. I think I will text my mom to say hi. I'm 35. Have been attracted to the 20 to 50 range since I was in my teens. You're just my type. Oh, you got a pulse and you are breathing. I'm a man who's got very specific taste. I'm mid 30s. 24 to 55 would be the age range I find attractive. Yes, it's changed as I've gotten older. When I was a teen, all of the women in their 40s were wearing mom jeans, and it was awful. Now that I'm 40, all of the women in their 20s are wearing mom jeans and it's awful. So yeah, I think I tend to be attracted to women around my age. Best comment of the day. Hahaha. I have 10-year range. I'm currently 47, so the lowest I will is 37. Maybe 35. But no younger. 42. I have an 18-year-old daughter. At that age I just see kids now. Just big kids who think they know it all. World ahead of them. But nonetheless kids. I can acknowledge if they are pretty, but there is nothing there anymore attraction wise. 25 plus isn't a problem. At that age they at least look mature. But I could never date one. I'd just feel like that old dude in midlife crisis dating 20 somethings. 30 plus ain't no problem. But I'm glad I'm happily married and don't have to worry about that anymore. The thought of dating in this day and age is terrifying. I could barely manage when I understood the rule of engagement. Now that's all out the window and the endless swipe left cycle would be demoralizing. I think if she ever divorces me, I'll become a monk. It's always been my age to 10 years older. Still is. 22-year-old here. I've been attracted to my age since I've developed sexual attraction towards women. But I've always had a huge thing for MILFs that are like 30 to 50 at most. Maybe it's because I'm young and they seem like a forbidden fruit type of thing. IDK what it is. But I need to score a MILF because before I know it, I'll be that age and there won't be MILFs anymore. I will admit that I can still find an 18-year-old attractive. But I don't have intentions on being with someone that young even though I'm 22. I think that attraction part will always be there, but I'll never want to act on it. Especially when I get older, because they'll seem like children at that point. I understand that everyone is different and this thread has been interesting. I can't want for you to turn 40 and look back at calling 30 MILFs. Enjoy the ride my friend. 75 to 90. Op was probably expecting to find people robbing the cradle. Instead they found someone robbing the grave. I'm 30 and my range is about mid/late 20s to 40. When I was 25, not so long ago, it was a far smaller range, maybe 22 to 28. The others are right. You'd never believe it would change so quickly. I'm 35 and I've recently experienced a big shift. And now find women 40 to 55 much more attractive than at any point before. I've been wondering if other people have had this too. I'm in my 40s and my preferred age range is 35, 50. 10 years ago it was 30 to 40. When I was in my 20s I would just prefer women older than me, never been a fan of younger women. Too many insecurities and too bad sex. Is the 20s thing more common than I thought? I'm early 20s and my GF is a few years older than me. I downright refuse to date anyone younger than me. I feel like school, working, living in my own, etc. is happening so fast that I don't want to be with someone who's just starting out or hasn't started with that yet. Exactly. And the lack of life experience was a turn off for me. I think it is more common than we think. I still think most men in their 20s aren't so picky and take whatever they can get. But I hear about more and more men who share our preferences. Mid-20s 40s. 18-year-olds look increasingly like children to me. I'm 40. I live in a dense downtown area in a major city. I was standing at the corner this weekend and an SUV pulled up to the light and it looked like a child was driving the car. Like a girl who has just passed from preteen to teenaged. My eyes thought she was far too young to even have a permit. And then the back window opened and my niece was waving at me. These girls are all at least 18. Fucking yes, I felt old. 3 days ago I might have told you that I could possibly find an 18-year-old attractive. This is no longer the case. I know I find some young girls to be hot, but I strongly doubt I even know what that age is anymore. There are women my age who are attractive, and there are women older than me as well. Nonetheless, this weekend really made me consider how much my perception of physical maturity has changed. Early 20s always liked women older than me. Hasn't changed. All the women that I want think I'm too young and all the women that want me I think are too young. IDK why I can't get with someone even a year younger, I have no idea why. I think there is something wrong with me. Like if I'm 25 I wouldn't get with a 23-year-old, I just find it icky, I have no idea why. This isn't shade to anyone at all, this is just me explaining the broken CPU that is called my brain.